and welcome to Social Buzz Extra here on Global Television. I am Ogochukwu Mobino. Today we are going to be extracting a lot of trendings on social media. I told you before, if it's happening on social media, do not worry, we are buzzing around it, and definitely we are bringing you the highlights of all of the social media trends. All right, today, please, if you want to be part of this conversation, because hopefully, definitely you have to be part of this conversation. To be part of the conversation, all you need to do is to watch on DSTV channel 365, or you can watch on Star Times channel 276, or if you do not want to watch on all of these platforms, you can also watch today. All right, let's go into the topic of the day properly. Today we're looking at a woman who have died over negligence of doctor in Kano State. A family is thrown into mourning the tragic loss of Aisha to Umar, who reportedly passed away after months, making repeated visits back to the hospital. It was only days before her passing that further medical tests were reportedly conducted, revealing a serious issue linked to the earlier surgery. Sadly, she passed away before corrective measures could be completed. She is survived by her husband and 5 children. Our thoughts are with the family. Justice and better healthcare standard matters. These are things that we keep talking about. Are you seeing the size of that scissor, that surgical scissors? To be the medical or surgical tools, patients. Sometimes you go to a hospital, they have over 100 patients, but then you see the nurse, just 3 of them, and just 1 doctor. Imagine how 3 nurses and 1 doctor they are going to take care of the 100 patients that they have in that hospital. Now, these are the things we are beginning to look at. We should be looking at to help reduce the rates, the fatality rate that we have in Nigeria. People cannot just be dying, you just let people die all because you tell yourself, okay, it didn't go well, or okay, I forgot something. You can't even say you forgot something as big as that in your patient's body. Honestly, we need to be looking at this. I'm really pained and pissed this morning. When I saw this story, I looked at that scissors. I had to zoom in, and I said, what was the doctor thinking at that time? If you are performing any form of operation, I think at that point, everything you need to do is leave every other thing aside and focus on what you are doing until you get a proper result. Because if you could leave that kind of surgical tool in your patient's body, then you could as well have cut some parts, some vital parts that you're not supposed to cut, because you are thinking of something else. So please, let's look for any ways we know we can look for to make sure that our doctors, from payment to rest, like they need good rest too, because for you to perform, operations like that, you need to make sure that your brain is well rested so you can work very well. The truth is, whoever doesn't rest properly, their brain doesn't function. The brain will sleep, and when the brain sleeps, you start misbehaving, because your brain, actually controls your body. You start misbehaving, and you might never get any result, very well. So please, let's ensure that these doctors are well paid. They also have, proper rest, and also make sure that you are hiring trained doctors. Some persons will tell you, I read medicine, I did this, but then when they go into practical, this one now is not school, practical, they don't even know what exactly they are doing. Make sure that you're hiring well-trained and experienced doctors, because you are putting people's life in their hands. Their life is people's life are practically in the hands of doctor and God. So please, let's try to make sure that we reduce it. Mortality rate in Nigeria is becoming so high. You shouldn't. Don't let people die out of negligence. It's not a good one. If they say, oh, it's an accident that happened on the road, maybe due to, in fact, there are some things, even some accidents are negligence, because sometimes we get to see that my tire is giving me signs, something is happening, and you still see them pile the road with that same tire, telling themselves God will take control until something bad happens. You see that your vehicle is not good, you still want to enter the road, drive through a busy road, because you only tell yourself, okay, don't worry, it's not here I'm going to. Anything can happen. Honestly, let's stop playing with our lives. And with this one, I just want to say that may her soul rest in peace, and also may God grant the family the fortitude to bear this loss, because it's a big loss. Honestly, nobody intends to go to the hospital and die. Everybody wants to go to the hospital and get proper medical care and come out healthy, to be very honest. Well, to that family, once again, may her soul rest in peace. But let's also do our part. The government, if it's a government hospital, the government, people recruiting, please make sure that you are employing capable hands, experienced hands to take over the job, not hands that you know they are shaking, because these are people's lives. We don't joke with lives here. Okay, all right, so the next topic of the day: the Algerian Football Federation has confirmed that it has submitted formal complaints to both the Confederation of African Football, which is CAF, and the Federation International, the Football Association, which is FIFA, over refereeing decision in its 2025 African Cup of Nations quarter-final clash against Nigeria. The announcement was made on Monday via the official X handle of the Equipe d'Algérie de Football. The complaints were accompanied by a request for an investigation to clarify the controversial decision and ensure appropriate actions is taken in line with established regulations. In its statement, the FAF said it could not overlook refereeing calls in the match, which it claimed raised questions and caused widespread dissatisfaction. Okay. You know, I understand this part. Let me tell you the truth. We know when you are losing something, it only takes the spirit of sportsmanship, you know, to accept losses. And not everybody gets to really accept losses. But then, if you really watch that football match properly, if you were there, maybe you watched, you know, on the screen in the house, anyway, I really do not see where the mistake is. Maybe if there is a mistake, you pinpoint the minutes where it happened, you know, in the 90 minutes that the match was played for. I did not know where exactly the mistake was made. Was it made during the extra time? Was it made during the 90 minutes of play? Because, in fact, I even had a problem with the referee. Now, see my problem now. After the 90 minutes, of course, there was an extra time of 6 minutes, which I was saying, oh, it was just too long, 6 minutes and all of that. But then it was for the time wasted, you know, in the pitch. So after that 6 minutes elapsed, did we also note that there was extra 5 minutes after the extra minutes? There was extra 5 minutes on top of the 6 minutes that made it about 11 minutes extra from the referee. And in fact, from the full, not just the referee, because this time around it's not even the referee's case, or really it's the referee, because if he had blown when it was 5 minutes on the dot, we wouldn't be having such issue, because it happened during Egypt. You know, we saw Egypt when Egypt played, they didn't have that issue. Immediately it was 5 minutes, they blew immediately, the whistle went loud and everybody left the pitch. But this time around, they added extra 5 minutes, and you did not see that there was a problem there. No Nigerian complained that the minutes added was too much. I understand, though, I'm not a footballer, neither am I a referee, but that extra minute that was added to the extra minute, it pained me. It pained me so much. If you're a Nigerian at that point, I'm sure you'll be tensed. That's just the truth. Everyone was tense at that point. Oh my goodness, anything can happen in 6 minutes. In this extra 5 minutes, they could actually, you know, score and all of that. I was waiting for the referee to blow the whistle, and the referee did not blow. So what exactly are the Algerians, you know, complaining about? Is it that the referee didn't blow as at when due by adding extra time, which was in their favor, obviously? Or is it that he blew wrongly in different times during the time of play, which is 90 minutes, perhaps maybe gave your card to odd persons, to persons who are not deserving it? Or what exactly is the problem? Because I don't really see a problem there. It is a clear win, a 2-0 clear win. Nigeria did their best. They did very well. They scored. They made sure that they secured their way in, you know, the semi-finals. And again, talking about, you know, Nigeria, and we are going to be facing the host nation, Morocco, today. I'm so excited, to want to watch that football match. I don't know, my excitement is so much, and I'm hoping that definitely we get the boy. If you're an Algerian here or a Moroccan here listening to me, I'm sorry, I just have to defend my country. We just have to win it. That's just what it is. All right, I'm going to leave you to do your thing, because this is not a sports segment. This is for gist, but definitely we are bringing you highlight of what is buzzing on social media. We'll be going on a quick break, and when we return, we have one more topic for you. Please stay with us and go nowhere. All right, welcome back from that quick break. We had to go on a break, definitely, so catch our breath for the next topic. And this one is, we are moving over to Edo State, where CCTV captures kidnapping incidents in Ekpoma. We talked about Ekpoma yesterday, and about the 52 students who were arrested by policemen over protests of kidnappers in Ekpoma and its environs. So the CCTV camera footage has emerged showing a kidnapping incident in Ekpoma headquarters of Esan West local government area of Edo State. The video shows the victim driving into his compound before he was whisked away by gunmen who emerged from the bush. The incident occurred on Sunday evening, January 11, 2025, a day after residents staged a protest against the spate of kidnappings in the community. Ekpoma has in recent times witnessed repeated attacks by kidnappers, with residents being abducted from their homes, triggering fear and anger across the town. The protests disrupted commercial activities as students of Ambrose Ali University Ekpoma also joined the demonstration. In their anger, the protesters pulled down campaign billboards mounted in the university town ahead of the 2027 general election. All right, let's take a look at that video. Okay, now see, this is like a clear footage of a man being kidnapped, someone who just drove into his house. You could see when they were coming in, like, I'm even shocked, like, I'm scared at this point. It looks more like there's an information went out to tell them this is when he's coming back, because I'm sure they must have monitored this man's movement. It was barely a few seconds after he just moved after he just drove in, they actually came in, and held him up at gunpoint, asking him to go with them. So this more like, I think the kidnapping now is no longer a thing. Or before we would tell you, oh, he's the headsman, they are and all of these bandits and co. We term them bandits. But I think this is more like an insider than just bandits and all of that, because these people, how did they know he was coming? To be very honest, how did they know he was coming? How did they know he's around and all of that? How did they know he's the one? So most times I think this is more like an arranged form of attack. And you begin to ask yourself, what exactly is going on? May God help us. So anyhow, you have to take care of it. See, I think I'm just going to give you one advice. Try not to speak outside. Try not just speak outside. You can actually speak outside, but try to limit the form of information, the kind of information you give out. Because most times these people work with information. You don't know who is around you when you're talking. And you don't know who is your friend at every moment. So anywhere you find yourself, even in workspaces, make sure that you limit the way you talk, and you know the kind of information you give out. Don't give personal information out like that, even if they are friends, because right now even families kill family, and they kidnap families just because you want to get money from your family. It's very, very wrong, very, very wrong. I just hope that, with this footage, I can actually trace these people and make sure that everything is fine and nothing goes wrong. Okay? All right, let's take one more story. This one is going to be brief. A Libyan phone dealer finally received Nokia phone ordered 16 years ago. A Libyan phone dealer has finally received a shipment of Nokia mobile phone he ordered back in 2010, a full 16 years after placing the order. The phone reportedly got stuck in warehouses after Libya's civil war broke out in 2011, which crippled logistics, disrupted customs operations, and created long-term security challenges across the country. I'm laughing right now. I just want us to take a look at the video before we wrap up for today.
هذا قلت لي شنو قصتهم؟
هذه أمانة بتجي هي امتى؟ في 2010 شوي تعثرت الأمور جابها لها بعد 16 سنة. بعد 16 سنة جابها لها 16 سنة يا لحظة 16 سنة كانت تشري حوش من الجنة. تو غرفت مني 3
طلع له الرزق طلع. يا ربي يبارك.
مضاش هو.
لا زمان هذا رتها، هذا المعبي كان يقيم فيره.
اسمع، هو واحد يسكن في سليم وصاحبه يسكن في طريق المنطقة. جايبه مصيبة هي.
لك زيادة هذا كان تعال معبيين راس مرة.
حوس.
ها؟
حوس. وين يا صاحبي؟ من 95 عارف تجي تقول لك يا كنت تشبح لك. انه تبي تصور تقول له راجل راجل تفتح البط معايا هيك لا يا عم لا قوة الا بالله. وش عندي؟ اكثر من صاحبه.
All right, he's really funny. As I was laughing in the studio, I knew that we were going to be laughing about it because 16 whole years. A child who was born at that age should be in maybe high school or even in the university right now, to be very honest. All right, he said, due to prolonged instability, the shipment remains stranded for years as supply chains collapse and recovery efforts stalled. Oh, I'm so sorry to this young man. You've almost lost, but it's not a loss. Because even me right now, we're looking for that particular Nokia phone. If it's still working and the battery, is still in good health, why not? I want that phone because I feel like it's going to be very, very strong compared to maybe the kind of phones that are, produced these days. So it's not a problem. Do not worry, you're still going to get your gain. And I think it's even going to gain more because right now, dollar rate is a bit high, so if he's going to sell it, he's no longer going to sell it as cheap like as he wanted to, back 16 years ago. If he was supposed to sell, let's say if he bought those phones each for about 10,000 naira and he wanted to sell for 15,000 naira, right now he's going to sell for 25,000 naira and he's going to make more money. You see, that's a good part of it. But again, another thing is that I'm going to even applaud these people who shipped this thing after 16 years. They endured the civil war and made sure that they kept to their promise. Man, kudos to those people. I'd really like to use that kind of shipment house. All right, that's all we have for you today. We wish we had more time. We would have actually taken more story, but because of the sake of our time, we'll be closing the curtains here. So just in case you are just tuning in, all you need to do is to join the conversation on YouTube. It's Global TV NG, and drop your comments there. We'll be taking them right there. I am Ogotkumobuna, and I'm going to say please stay safe and stay jiggy. Bye for now.